Greetings you people, this is Briarstone and welcome back to Skyrim Roguelike. This is Allimir, our Bosmer Hunter, and we are taking the time out to learn who exactly he is. We're going to get to know him a bit. Now in the last actual chapter, actually I guess it wasn't the last chapter, was it? It was the character creation. I had asked people what the actual markings on his face could actually mean. There's 3 dots there and there's a stripe across the lips. Now, there were several, and I do mean several, suggestions given. Scarlet 680 mentioned that maybe it's just an elvish thing. Maybe all the elves have these types of markings. Mr. X Prodigies actually, mentioned that the bride's name could be Furetto. Actually, not Furetto, but Furetta. A female there. And the Kakati actually mentions, perhaps some of the markings could be strikes against him. Crackjag mentioned that one of the markings could be the acceptance of himself. Stain H. Mr. Awesome had mentioned that one of the markings could be showing his mother's affection towards him. And Ivan even mentioned that, it does sort of look like a dragon claw. So how do I actually take all these suggestions and kind of turn it into something? Because I really enjoy, and I must stress that you guys, when you make these suggestions, you do, it results into the character that I'm going to play, right? It influences everything I do. So here we are. We do have 3 dots. We do have a stripe across the mouth. We do have a bride that we are going to name Furetta. I can't say it. Furetta. I said it one time. And we have the markings that look like a dragon's claw. So what are we going to do? So here's some suggestions. Here's what I think I'm going to settle with. As per, I guess, Stain H. Mr. Awesome's idea, one of the marks could be as a mark of affection from his mother. I like that. I actually like that. Because what is a mother's love if not unbiased, right? She gave birth to an aberration, but you know what? That does not matter. She loves him still. I'm also thinking, as per Scarlet's idea, the elvish thing, perhaps all the elves get these types of markings, right? And maybe they're just dotted up. If it's an actual affection thing, the other elves happen to have like 20 dots by this age, or maybe 40 dots. Maybe dots that extend down the neck and down the arm and maybe down the side and everything. But our fellow only has 3. What does that actually mean? What would that mean? So the first dot could be, as mentioned, his mother's affection. The second dot could be sort of like in terms of his rebellious teenage years, for instance, because we all have those. And the second dot could be himself. That was also somebody else's suggestion. Maybe one of the dots is himself. The second dot, maybe the I guess, to our perspective, the dot to the far right could be just him accepting himself. And that could be sort of a snide joke. If all the other elves have 20 to 40 dots, he only has 2 at this point, right? He's got 1 from his mother. You know what? 1 from himself. That shows a bit of that gives a personality, honestly, to this guy. Okay? Now, in terms of the final mark, the actual dot in the middle, I was trying to think of, what if he just got that dot? That dot comes from Furetta. What if it came from her? And not just early on, but no, perhaps the bride gets to choose the 10 champions that get to sort of compete for her. She gets to choose them. And you know what? She chooses by placing a dot. You know what? That's where he got his 3rd dot. The middle dot is from her. She chose him. Now, that said, her father is a judge. He's going to be the judge of the task at hand. And so, Allimir is not an idiot. It's going to be quite a biased judging He knows this. So he has to come back with something over and above everybody else. That's why the grocery list is so long. He's doing 5 times as much stuff. He's making it really hard on himself, but he's going to show his worthiness and his dedication to Fuerta. Now, also, who was it that mentioned it? It was the Kakati mentioning how, you know, perhaps some of the marks could be strikes against him. How about this? What if the marking, what about the stripe right across the lips there? You know, almost extending from ear to ear there. What if that is done simply because he may not consume any Bosmer, his family or otherwise, and he may not be consumed by any other Bosmer? He's an aberration, so he is not worthy of the honor, and nobody wants to be quote-unquote honored by him eating them. He's not allowed to eat any Bosmer, right? He is ritualistically and religiously denied that because he's an aberration. Okay? I kind of like that. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's actually a good idea? I think so. It feels good to me. It kind of, yeah, it makes things a little bit more solid and different for our character. Now, as far as the Dragon's Claw is concerned, because those 3 dots do, you know, kind of resemble a dragon's claw, like the talons of a dragon's claw, you can actually fit a dragon's claw over his face. Perhaps the Nords, any Nords he actually bumps into, that's what they see, right? And it makes them uneasy, which is yet again another reason he cannot visit any city. Sound good? You know, he can't just go into a city because, you know what, he's just going to cause a disturbance. He may even just get thrown in prison just because of some superstitious guard, right? You know, who is this? Is he trying to, is he part of the Dagon crowd? Is he trying to raise a dragon? You know, something about that, you know. So yeah, that's kind of everything. What do you guys think? Does it kind of flesh him out for you? You've got 1 mark from his mother, you've got 1 mark from himself as a sort of a joke there and a snide remark to the rest of his kin. You've got the 3rd mark in the middle actually given to him by Fuerta, the bride that he's trying to win. And well, actually the bride that I should also mention that he actually loves, and she loves him dearly already. And then the stripe across the mouth being that, you know, he's not allowed to eat anybody. No, any other Bosmer. He's not allowed to do that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And be prepared for the next chapter. Chapter 2 is coming up very, very soon, guys. And let's hope I survive at least another couple of chapters, at least after going through all this trouble to actually give this guy a past and a life. And now I feel so connected to him. He's a real person again. Why do I do this? I don't even know. Thanks again, guys, for all you're doing for me. This is Briarstone signing out.